I sell these manifestation boxes in my Etsy shop, and I usually only do designs and drawings on them, but lately I've been wanting to put words on them, but I don't have a stencil that matches the font I want, so I had to figure out a way how to do it, and I'm going to show you how I did it. To start, you are going to need a working printer. I used my crappy old Epson printer, but it got the job done. You'll also need a pencil, preferably an ebony pencil, but a number 2 or any mechanical pencil will work as well. A ballpoint pen, a thin paintbrush, and paint or markers. And if you're using markers, you obviously won't need the thin paintbrush. Now, the first thing that you are going to want to do is to pick a font. If you're super picky like me, then you don't like any of the fonts that are on Word, and you're going to need to find one that works for you and what you want to do with your project. I just went to 1001fonts.com and I set my search for free to use for commercial use because I am going to be selling these boxes. So I just set the little toggle to free for commercial use just to save myself. This website is great because you can put the word or phrase that you want to use in the box in the little box in the corner, and it'll show you what that word or phrase looks like in each font. So you don't have to download it and then wonder, what is this going to look like once I switch it to the words that I want? You can just see the words that you want in that font. So once you find a font that works for you, you want to just download and install it, and then you're ready to open up Word. For this particular manifestation box, I am going to write bed and bruja. I know that my box is only 6 inches across, so I'm going to be keeping that in mind when I'm resizing the text. I also know that I want to add a moon and stars to this box, so I'm just going to add those on this page too, just in case I end up using them, because I'm not always the greatest with drawing the shapes out. Once everything is laid out the way that I want it, I am just going to go ahead and print it. Once it is printed, I cut it out, and then I use the pencil to fill in the back side of the paper. You want to make sure that anywhere that the words are on the front side, that it also has pencil on the back side. Next, you're going to line everything up where you want it, and face up, you're going to tape it down onto whatever surface you're using. I'm obviously going to tape it to my box. Now you're going to trace the words with a ballpoint pen. You don't want to press too hard if you're using wood like I am, especially a soft wood, because it is going to indent the wood. Unless that's the look you're going for, then do your thing. Once everything is traced, you can go ahead and remove the paper. Now you are left with the outline of the words. I usually go over this one more time just to define everything, so that way I don't make any mistakes. Once everything is exactly the way you want it and it's defined enough and all the shapes look great and where they should be, you can go ahead and fill in the outlines with the paint, or you can use markers if that is what you're using instead of paint. Now, if you are going to use markers, you're going to want to make sure that the paint that's underneath it, if you are using paint underneath it, because this obviously was just a unfinished wooden box when I got it and then I painted it white. And if you're going to be using paint underneath the markers, you want to make sure that the markers aren't going to like suck the life out of it, or that, the paint isn't going to suck the life out of the markers, because every time I try to use a marker on top of this acrylic paint, it dries the marker out. I can't use the marker anymore, so that's why I'm using paint instead. That's actually why I prefer to use the black boxes. I usually paint my boxes black, but I painted these white for a project that fell through, and the lady ended up only wanting 3. Not the point. So I have these extra white boxes that I don't know what to do with, so that's where this words idea came from. But yeah, I usually use black boxes, and it's much easier to put words and stuff on those because I can always just use my Signo Jelly Roll pen. That's much easier to control than a paintbrush, but that's neither here nor there. Once I have everything finished and it is dry, I'm going to give it 2 coats of clear enamel, and that's just to make sure everything is sealed the way that it needs to be, and then nothing's going to be able to be wiped off, and that if there's any accidents and water gets on it, that it will be a-okay. And then I'm done. This is perfect if you're trying to like personalize something for someone, especially with the holidays coming up. This is perfect for that. Or if you just want something personalized for yourself. And if you are interested in this manifestation box or any other box that I've shown, then they will all be available in my Etsy shop, and the link is down below. Okay, bye.